Ryan, hello.
Are we live?
We are live.
Oh, hello everybody. That was quite an experience. Literally the one time, like I'm not joking, this was the first time ever we were both in the studio 5 minutes before the show starts. And of course, it's the one time that StreamYard's like, yeah, you got to wait 60 seconds every time we tried to go live. Pretty terrible.
Never doing that again. Never coming early.
No, never.
Yeah. Wins the dog ball and can't afford the premium StreamYard. The premium StreamYard is a scam. Don't pay for it. Yeah, you missed it. My face was plastered on the screen. There was nothing else there except my beautiful face.
We'll edit it in post. Not a problem.
Another big dog, another J.K. Dobbins share for Gumby. Hopefully not.
What's that reference to? Are you a Dobbins guy all of a sudden?
Apparently, he's my highest owned running back.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I just joined a BBM. We need 9. So the plan for today, which layout is it?
Not that one. There you go.
That one works.
Well, that's we're pretty big. We could make ourselves smaller.
Listen, this is what we're working with. So this is a BBM. We're gonna do a BBM first, and then because Cupsy, a little West Coast man, he's gonna be coming in around 8:30, and then we'll rip a big dog. So you guys have to help us fill it.
Not only do they have to help us fill it, they also have to deal with us for about an hour before Cups joins the show.
I'm already getting yelled at to zoom in.
I didn't say a word.
That's in the chat. I'm being yelled at.
Oh, okay, good. So it's not just me.
You guys don't want to see my bookmarks, right? Yeah, I can get rid of that. Do I have 69 BBMs left? Is that what it is? No. I only have 46 left.
Wow. You've been doing a lot of drafts the last couple days then.
No, not the last couple days. I'm doing like 5 at a time because I can't fucking sit there and just do drafts. But yeah.
Well, how was the weekend? Speaking of which, you went to AC this weekend. How was it?
Yeah, I broke even.
Wow.
So you broke even. I mean, I did not actually break even.
Oh, I was going to say, so you had a great time.
No.
What's your go-to game? You're always a blackjack guy, right?
I only play blackjack.
Did anyone else on your trip have any success?
No. No one won.
I think it was rigged.
It might, they have we were at Harrah's in Atlantic City, and they have those stupid continuous shuffle machines. So I would not be surprised if it was rigged.
I wouldn't be surprised about that at all.
That's bullshit. You can't count on the CPM. Everyone knows this, or whatever it's called, CSM. Listen, Chad. I was told that the whole screen share, the whole window is better. That's what I was told.
Yeah, that's the right way to do it.
All right, we get pick 5.
Yeah. Go Easy Cards. Can Cups solves the equation on the thumbnail? Well, fun fact, Go Easy Cards. I actually requested Cups to create the formula. So not only can he solve it, but he was also the originator.
What do you like at the 5? Do you like, because I have a lot of JSN, I think. Yeah, I have 16% JSN, only 6% CMC.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine if you want to go McCaffrey over JSN. I guess the difference would be like we probably will get a good running back to us, like a Derrick Henry or Achane potentially at pick 5, like in the second round. The best receiver you're going to get is probably like an AJ Brown or Drake London. So if you like the 2v2 more, even though I know you're overexposed on JSN, I'm still fine to do it, but it's your money, so it's your decision, as it always has been.
I think I'd rather start mixing in more CMC. I think it's because until like recently the ADP was more like JSN was pretty solidly at 5. Now he's like backing down and CMC's moving up. So I think that's why it was just always giving me JSN. But yeah, I'd rather be like equal on both of them. I'm not strongly in favor of JSN.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think there's probably a clear top 4 ending with Puka. So if Puka goes here, then if you want to take McCaffrey to diversify a bit, I think that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do McCaffrey.
Are you concerned at all about McCaffrey not practicing today with just general tightness, or is that not a concern much to you?
No, I'm not worried. I mean, he shouldn't be practicing at all. He's like 100 years old. Why let him practice at all?
I'm pretty sure that's why nobody has signed Keenan Allen yet, because he just doesn't want to deal with the training camp nonsense. So he's just like, all right, I'm just going to, I'll wait until the second to last week of August. I'll ramp up for a week or two and then get my 7 or 8 targets, 60 yards and a touchdown.
If I make the Dog Bowl NFL and Brian and Gumpy makes it, would you drink beers with me? Absolutely. I will be drinking beers. I'm going to have to go back to the well, go back to the good luck charm, which was espresso martinis at the NBA Dog Bowl. So that's probably what I'll be drinking mostly.
Was that your drink of choice?
It was.
Okay. The only thing I remember from you that day was one, you just, ejecting from the sweat entirely and playing that like Pop Shot game for about an hour and a half while you were on the brink of losing $100,000.
Yeah, that was the Pop Shot saved me for a while when I was like climbing. That was more the Pop Shot I was more into when I wasn't in first, when I was climbing. Once I was in first, I was like zombie mode. Like,
it was so funny watching because like when you were, I don't know, like 10th or 15th place or whatever, and you were like you said, you were making the charge late, or maybe not late, but like relatively late. You were so focused on like just getting up as many shots as possible, and then as you were like trying to maintain the lead before you just left the bar entirely, you were going at like 30% speed. It was so funny to watch. Like your brain just couldn't process like speed.
there is a video. I was also very drunk. There's a video that's somewhere of me like in slow motion playing.
It was crazy. Yeah, I'm over here watching the leaderboard, watching the games, like trying to learn who these players are. You're just facing the opposite direction, playing Pop Shot by yourself.
Cups is coming on at 8:30. Cups is coming on at 8:30. He's working right now. He's a West Coaster, so he'll be here at 8:30. We're just ripping up BBM to get flow and get going.
Yes, blame Cups. He's the one that's a West Coast guy. Also, looks like we have jump free and go easy cards in here. Pretty fun.
All right, what are you thinking here?
Wow, Hampton, big fall. So many tools. Filtered by ADP. I'm a basic bitch.
Hampton, AJ Brown, Neighbors is fine.
I'd probably go AJ Brown.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Let's do it.
Yeah, McCaffrey, AJ Brown's fun.
Focus. Talk about the pick you want. I need sniping material. I want whoever's the top click on the sidekick. So hope this helps.
How much have you been using the sidekick versus ETR versus Easy Tool?
I have them both up all the time. I probably lean a little more sidekick, but I also use my brain a little bit, surprisingly. If the sidekick and easy are both telling me the same player, I can't click them fast enough.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed, for those that didn't watch, I'm sure many of you have, but Chad Candle's stream with Easy this morning was must-watch material. I didn't realize, I wasn't able to watch till the end because I had a call, but apparently there was some, what was it, slots that were played towards the end. Slots. So I'm gonna have to go back and check that out. But it was a great stream, and for those that aren't subscribed, Chad live every day during the week, Monday to Friday at 8:30 Eastern. Truly a grind that I respect.
No free
but
ads.
We'll never emulate.
No free ads. PPR Tyler Cups gets the invite before me. # fuck me. You should have won, so you think you can tout, Mr. PPR Tyler. This could be you tonight, unfortunately.
Could have been him.
Gumby, what else are you maxing contest-wise? The plan is to also max the DK Millie. I'm pretty behind, so probably not happening at this point, but that is the goal.
DK is just hard because it feels fake with all the Q tags and the ADP fallers. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a real contest.
I feel like if Rice falls to us, that feels like a smash. No egos.
I'm fine with Love.
Yeah,
I actually think I prefer Love. I'm getting a little spooked with Rice. There's been some clips that have been circulating the last couple weeks of him, trying to run full speed and with a noticeable limp. He's still coming back from the knee injury he had that was rehabbing famously in jail. I think Love, if you're getting Love in the middle of the third round, this guy was the third overall pick in the draft. I know nobody's expecting the Cardinals offense to be, a world beater, but even if Love has the same type of season that Genty had his rookie year, he's still going to wind up paying off this ADP pretty easily.
I am not a Guinness guy. I'll drink Guinness. I'll drink Guinness on St. Patrick's Day, of course, but not the biggest. I like the light beers. Give me a Stella. Give me a Miller Lite. I don't know. Nothing crazy. GM, Mr. Bayou Bengal, shout out to you. Let's see what else we got. Brian, did you see my emo rant at the very end of Candle stream? Best part of the stream.
No, I didn't. But I apparently I missed all the fun. I mean, not that it was. I enjoyed every bit of it. I was picking Easy's brain. It was a great stream to watch for just for general content purposes. But I am going to have to go back and watch the end because apparently there was a lot of stuff that happened that I was not aware of.
The last 10 minutes were next level. Yeah, Love is going at the 3-4 turn. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, like that's I forget who it was that said it, but anyone that has like plans to max a contest like this, or whether it's on DraftKings or Underdog, and you can get Love at the 3-4 turn, cancel your holiday plans and just draft as many times as you can, hoping you get at the back half.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
seems
I don't
too
know.
easy.
I don't know how many big dogs I'm going to do. I probably do like 3 a week, and I'll probably just keep that pace. I don't know. I feel like I should max it. I don't know if I can justify it. I should max it for the tax purposes, but I just can't. I can't justify it.
Yeah, but at the same time, like if you're going to spend money and lose money, you'd rather just pay the man and net. You know, like you're going to lose the money either way. Just a matter of what year.
Just a matter of if I'm going to give it to shady advice and sacrilegious, or if I'm going to give it to the government.
To Uncle Sam, correct. Yeah. All right, so coming up on the clock here in round 4, McCaffrey, Love, AJ Brown to start. Burden is still there. That's a guy I was curious on your take. Whether you like, what are you thinking of him as we're approaching the clock here? Interested or?
I'm interested, yes, but I think he was overpriced to begin with. Let's see, what are we thinking here? Easy and the sidekick want us to pick a running back.
We're gonna get a running back on the next turn.
I think it's Scat.
Okay. That's probably not what I would have done. I think I would have taken the Burden dip there and expect to get one of, maybe not Tootin, but one of like Bucky, Judkins, you know, those like kind of unsexy clicks, but very necessary clicks in the 5th round. But we'll see.
Going back to Burden.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's probably alive to miss a game or two. Maybe 40% chance he misses a game. But I think he's overpriced. I'll draft him if he falls, because I'm like, whatever. If he misses the first week or two, does it really matter?
Probably not. What's the line for you where you would like, where would you take him if he's there? Like, would you put him behind or ahead of Devontae Adams, Jameson Williams?
But behind Devontae, ahead of JMO.
What about Mike Evans? I think that's the only other receiver in that little tier.
I'm not really into Mike Evans. So
really?
If Devontae's gone, I think I have a good amount, but I don't know. I'm not really into him.
Okay, fair enough.
Let me update my exposures too. Oh,
it's a great time to do that while we're on the clock.
We're not on the clock. We're good. We're good.
All right, let's see. So Swift does fall. Yeah, a lot of running backs here. I'm not a huge Terry guy, but I like the fall on him.
I love that fall.
Okay,
can't draft him because Stephon Diggs is going to play 60% of snaps. DK drafts feel like they take 2 hours compared to Underdog drafts. Like are done in like a half hour nowadays.
Well, you got two things with that. You have the 20-second clocks and 18 versus 20 rounds. So compound more rounds and more picks per second, or you know, more picks per or seconds per pick. It does feel like it takes a long time. Even the Badge Bros Brawl, which I really enjoy playing, you know, those being a 6-man contest, the 30-second clock really does make it feel like it takes forever to do in my experience.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. It's tough. Like when I'm on DK drafting, I'm literally in like 7 or 8 at a time. Just because I auto more picks on Underdog doing 4 or 5 than I do on DK doing 7 or 8, just because of the 20-second clocks.
I don't know how many people are like multi-tabling fast best ball drafts. I think you're probably in the minority for that.
Well, I just hate slows.
Yeah, I don't think I've never done a slow. I don't think I ever will. Anything I draft, I just want to be like fully locked in the moment. Like I want to remember. I mean, I guess there's some benefit. Like if you're in slows and you get the neighbor's news, you could just load him up potentially in like the 2nd or 3rd round, you know, depending on the timing of where the draft is. So there's some benefit to it for sure. But I don't know. I spend my weekend with my wife, so I don't want to have to commit myself to having to log in to do multiple slows, you know, 3 or 4 times a day. It's just not sustainable for my life.
Well, that's like everyone always says, like golfing when you have slow drafts is the worst. Because like what is it? You drive to the course, you get there a little early, you play a 4.5 hour round, then you drive home, take a shower. It's like, oh shit, I'm running out of time on 100 drafts.
Yeah, it just doesn't sound fun at all.
Brian Thomas, Parker Washington go back to back. Thoughts?
Yeah, I've never been a P-Wash guy. I will continue to not be a P-Wash guy. What was that?
I think I'm into it.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. A lot of people have been capitulating on it, and I'm not saying they're wrong, but I don't think you really have a strong opinion on him preseason. So I'm not surprised that with all the buzz that you're not holding steadfast in your beliefs, because I don't really know if your belief at the start of the season was really strong to begin with.
I have a lot of strong opinions. That doesn't mean that they're held strong. What's the saying? Strong opinions loosely held.
Yeah, that's pretty much you summed up in it. That's the title of your autobiography.
Yeah. The Easy Machine is telling us to pick Drake May over Stack Jaden Daniels.
We also have AJ Brown.
We too have AJ Brown.
So we could technically try to push one of them. I'm not saying we should, but we could.
I don't think that's wise. Jaden goes.
Yeah, we'll take May.
I've been taking a little bit more Drake May over Jaden Daniels, because I had like 25% Jaden Daniels, and I'm not letting it was like 6% Drake May, like 20. No thanks. I'd rather be 15% on both. I think they're both good picks.
They're definitely both good picks. I think something that recent development. Speaking of injuries, Laramie Tunsil, their left tackle, being out for the year with the torn tricep. I think that's a big deal, bigger than I think the ADP, the precipitous ADP drop that might occur, isn't going to be reflective of. I don't like losing your left tackle is a big deal. I don't know if the market is going to adjust to that accordingly. Drake May's situation is great.
Honestly, crazy take. It might be better for fantasy to lose his left tackle. He might be scrambling for his life.
Is that
a crazy take?
No, it's not a crazy take, but it also I don't know. I think that increases the risk of his injury as well. He's 170 pounds.
Yeah.
He already showed he can get banged up pretty easily last year.
This feels like pattern matching. Love Daniels, but his build and talent reminds me of RG3.
Yeah, he's a skinny black guy on the Commanders.
Right, makes sense. So much more ball.
It's amazing when you watch the game. I'm probably gonna go Reed.
I think I'm not that into Reed right now.
Why is that? We don't have to take him. I guess we'll make the pick and then you can tell me.
I think Warren is.
If we go Warren, then I'd say we're done at running back here.
No, we're not. I hate having 4 running backs. You're just so fragile with an injury.
Is it though?
Yes.
You think 4 projected workhorse running backs, like maybe not Jalen Warren necessarily as a true workhorse, but I don't know.
I don't know. I think calling Scadaboo a workhorse is kind of a stretch. People want it. I mean, I still think even if he's not a workhorse, he's a really good pick. But I think people are forgetting Tyrone Tracy has a role.
You know who people are actually forgetting has a role, and I say this not as a joke. Devin Singletary is still on the team.
He's dead. He's not going to play a snap.
Don't know about that.
So what did you do in AC? So got there early on Saturday. It was a little birthday party, not for me. Went to the pool at Ocean Casino. Little Kid Leroy concert. It started to rain, so we played 2 songs and then left.
Oh, Kid Leroy's great.
Well, he's a bad guy. He did 2 songs and then left.
Yeah, well, I bet maybe bad guy, but a good singer.
Well, I was also leaving as he was leaving because it was raining, so I'm not that upset.
So he's not that bad. Anyway, continue.
And then played a little blackjack, lost $200 in maybe 15 minutes, and then paid for the world's most expensive meal. So that was my weekend.
Oh, so you only were there. You weren't there that long.
Just one night. We stayed overnight.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really a mental health 5th running back pick.
Yeah, I don't know. You're investing a lot of capital. 4 picks, 4 of your first 7 picks were running back. Like, is there really a benefit to tacking on a 5th guy that you hope isn't a 0 for the week? Probably not. We'll see. We'll see what comes to us. I don't want to speak too soon.
I don't know if this is sarcasm, but it is Atlantic City. I'm assuming it's sarcasm.
I don't know. Go Easy Cards lives in Arizona. He AC to him might mean something different to him than us.
You know how in Las Vegas there's a lot of casinos? That's kind of the same thing in Atlantic City, Mr. Charles.
There you go.
Did you play blackjack with or without the Sims? I guess it's with the Sims because I follow basic strategy to the fucking T.
Why does that not surprise me?
anyone? All right, I feel like we need a receiver, but I don't like Alec Pierce.
That's the thing. Like, I say we take Brooks, and then we're literally done. There's going to be a lot of receivers we like late.
I know, that's why. Yeah.
This is a weird build for us. We don't. I mean, we you know we'll sometimes go running back heavy, but 5 running backs through 8 rounds. My God.
Yeah. This is how Shady Advice wants me to draft all my football teams.
What are your thoughts on Jonathan Brooks? I know you have him in our dynasty league. Like, do you think this is going to be one of those things we look back on in like week 7 and like, what the hell were we doing? Chuba Hubbard was literally going after this guy in August when we had as much information as possible. Or are you of the camp that you really think he could be, you know, a fringe RB1, RB2?
I mean, here's the thing. He shouldn't be going where he's going. He should either be going in the 4th round or the 14th round. So I'll just pick him.
Brooks and Chuba remind me very, like, you know, talk about pattern matching. It reminds me of the Giants backfield last year. Tracy and Scattaboo were like basically, I mean, they were a bit cheaper. They were like another 2 rounds cheaper, 1 or 2 rounds cheaper last year. But it was like until Scattaboo, I think, what was it, his calf or hamstring, like in August that he hurt last year. That was when you sort of saw that separation between Scattaboo and Tracy in terms of their ADP. I'm wondering if we're going to see something similar happen here, whether it's injury related or not.
Alec Pierce is falling a ton. I don't hate it at this point. At 100 in round 9.
Yeah, there's some scary things about his injury, but I guess, I mean, if you're going to take him, this is probably going to be the spot. It's still not comfortable for me though.
He's buried. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd rather go Purdy, to be honest, with McCaffrey
over T-Law.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll trust you. Because like if I don't pick Alec Pierce here, I'm never going to pick him. Or maybe he just falls to here. Maybe he's just going to sit in round 9, round 10.
Well, there's been so much bearish news on him recently. Like a couple months ago, it was, you know, he hopes to be back in training camp. He had a 4 to 6 month ankle surgery, and that was kind of all we heard, you know, many months ago. Then it was, well, now we're hoping he's going to be ready for training camp. Now it's like the most recent update from what I understand is we hope he's going to be ready for week 1. Like it just keeps getting pushed out and pushed out and pushed out. And I think part of, like, you know, I'm a huge Josh Downs guy. I have been for 2 or 3 years now. I'm not original in saying this. The underlying metrics for Downs are good historically. If he just got more than 60% of snaps, the Colts are going to bring somebody in. I'm fairly certain it's going to be Keenan Allen, which kind of sucks because I have a lot of Downs with Keenan Allen.
I'd love that.
I know you would love that. You're a bad guy, but I like, to me, it's not a matter of if, but when with the Colts. I don't know if it's going to be with Keenan Allen, but they've said it, as like the GM a couple weeks ago said as much, that they're going to bring a veteran receiver in. Like their wide receiver 2 right now with Alec Pierce hurt is Ashton Doolin. Like that's not a made up name. That's actually a player in the NFL.
Yeah, they're going to have to sign someone. They have to.
They will.
Who else is available? DeAndre Hopkins?
Like, I don't even know like what a veteran, like, I mean, Keenan Allen's the only one that I know because he's the only one relevant enough to me, but
I was going to say it's kind of like Joe Mixon, except everyone, like, there was like subtle reporting that Joe Mixon was going to be out for the year. Like, whereas with Alec Pierce, it's like, we don't really know. It's like he's probably going to come back soon, I think.
Yeah, that's what people are saying. I think I'd go Dobbs here.
Yeah.
Stacks with May.
I don't hate.
No, we're not going 3 quarterbacks.
I don't hate Dart.
We're not going 3 quarterbacks.
Why not?
We have an elite quarterback in Drake May and an awesome quarterback in Purdy.
You're lucky our SYTYCT friends agree with you.
There's no reason to take a 3rd quarterback with no overlapping buys with an elite quarterback and a guy who produces like an elite quarterback.
I hope Debo falls back to us. I would really like that at 125.
He should. I think his ADP is around 130. Doesn't mean he won't go earlier. A lot of the guys, like in the first 4 rounds, first 4 picks, have at least 4 receivers. I think one of them is going to go a quarterback. Probably this guy goes Dart. I could see it.
Charles saved us from picking Dart. If Debo goes and Dart's still there, we're picking Dart, by the way.
Well, let's see what's available before we just make a declaration like that.
I feel like this is bad, taking 3 quarterbacks in every team, no matter what.
Yeah,
Like,
I would say not
if you
all.
got to fall, full send, but I don't know.
Yeah, not all teams are created equal. Like if I have like a Drake May, Tyler Shuck, like then I would want a third quarterback. But if I have Jaden Daniels and Trevor Lawrence, I'm very rarely going to take a third quarterback unless it's like a multiple round faller that stacks or correlates with my picks.
Yeah. I was doing a big dog draft, like Davis Maddock was doing a stream, so I hopped in it, and I had Devontae Adams and Puka, and I picked Bo Nix over them because my sim friends were telling me to pick Bo Nix. And
I think I go Shakir here, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, what about Debo?
I
feel like it's got to be Debo.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, we can go Debo. Anyway, continue.
So I had the 2 Rams receivers, and I passed on Stafford and was getting roasted in the chat. Roasted. And then Stafford fell like 20 picks past ADP back to me. Oh, so happy. I was adding people in Davis's chat. I was like, you learn ball.
I think the thing with Stafford is like people sort of know and accept that he's overpriced. He's going around. Him and Purdy are within like 3 spots of each other. Purdy will rush for like 400 or 500 yards this year. Stafford will rush for -10 on the 10 kneel downs that they take this season.
Wait. I have to stop you. This is an incredible chat. Quarterback Drake May, running back Achane, running back Josh Jacobs, wide receiver AJ Brown, wide receiver Pickens, flex Kenneth Walker, bench Lad McConkey, Cardinal Tate, Pittman. I traded JSN for McConkey and AJ Brown. 10-team PPR. Congratulations.
How many people are in that league? 2? Maybe 3?
Sorry. Anyway, go ahead. I just had to highlight that.
I don't know how to recover from that.
Yeah, I don't even know what we were talking about.
We were just talking about how I think Stafford, who has more upside on a weekly basis? Stafford, Jackson Dart, or Brock Purdy? How would you rank those 3? Dart, Purdy, and then Stafford, right?
Right.
Yeah. So just because he stacks doesn't mean he's necessarily the best pick, because there's been plenty of games that Puka can get there by himself.
Brian, will Neighbors smash this year, or does Dart suck at passing?
I think Dart's going to be fine. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants got off to a slow start, though. I mean, Matt Nagy's their OC. I've heard some rumblings around camp that the offense has looked a bit sluggish to start, which is not obviously what you want to hear as a Giants fan. I think Neighbors will overcome the talent or the lack of creativity that the OC has. But I do think Neighbors might be like a bit of a slow start to the year, especially coming off that injury too.
Yeah, I was worried about the Giants, but then there's reports that their offense looks good now, so we're back. Did you see all those reports that they can't get a first down, they can't complete a pass?
I didn't see it was that extreme, no.
It was bad. Sidekick wants Goddard with the Week 17 correlation with the Niners. I think that's a good pick.
Yeah, Goddard's fine. The thing I struggle with the most here, Omar.
I would have liked Cooper, yeah.
Yeah. Is Travis Hunter still there? I think we go Hunter. This team needs upside at receiver. And I'm not convinced that the dead zone at tight end doesn't exist. Like, you can get guys like...
Let the record show I want Goddard on this team.
You can get guys like Hunter Henry around later. You can get Cade Otton. You can get Pat Freiermuth, Dalton Schultz. Like, in the 170s to 190s, these guys go. Tell me, is there a material difference taking Dallas Goedert at pick 140 versus Dalton Schultz, Cade Otton 40 picks later? Probably not.
I don't know if you saw, but Easy posted his 10 draft commandments. Did you see that?
No, I don't have Twitter.
True. We can go over that later, but I asked him for his thoughts on Travis Hunter.
Oh, okay.
He had an 11th commandment for me.
Oh.
High-low strategy on Jags receivers. Parker Washington was wide receiver 1. Travis Hunter is underpriced upside bet that will benefit if any of the 3 had get hurt or moved, and you can basically free roll him as a gadget going next to Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, that's pretty well said. Although I disagree with the assumption that Parker is wide receiver 1. But I do think all it takes is one cornerback on the Jags being better than what the coaching staff might suspect in training camp, and a receiver to go down, and Travis Hunter in the 13th or 14th round is going to be playing 70+% of the snaps.
All right. Once Henry.
Now we go Hunter Henry.
Yeah, it seems like a smash.
There we go.
Yeah, I guess it's going to be a 2-quarterback team.
This was going to be a 2-quarterback team well before this round.
Nothing says upside like a receiver cornerback. All right, man. All right.
It's true.
Goddard's a smash. Everyone's hurt on Philly. That's true. That's a good point with Mekhi Lemon. Very, very questionable for the beginning of the season, it seems like.
Yeah, I forgot that they pay out $2 million to first in week 1. Mekhi Lemon clearly out for the year.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think Goddard's a huge difference between fucking Hunter Henry.
Oh, come on. That's disingenuous. What do you think Goddard's going to project for on a weekly basis? Like 9.8?
I was going to say like 11.
Goddard doesn't project for 11.
Maybe like 12 if Lemon's hurt and they have Dust at receiver.
Okay. Mekhi Lemon is back. Mekhi Lemon is playing in 2 wide receiver sets. How much do you think Goddard projects for? Let's envision
10.5.
10.5. How much do you think Dalton Schultz projects for? I would say like 8.7.
7. No. Dalton Schultz will never project for more than 8 points.
Okay. I'm just gonna we'll see what the numbers say.
Is this a big dog or need to fill? The big dog will be happening when Cupsy comes on at like 8:30 Eastern, 8:15, yep. 8:30.
Should be joining us in about 20 minutes.
I'll probably hop in it at like 8:15 so we can try and fill it by the time he gets on. But we will be drafting a big dog later.
Yeah, and appreciate everyone hanging out with us. We're less than a month away from the NFL season, which is really exciting. And for those that are just joining us, we are live, every week, Monday in the off season. And during the season, we are live at least once a week, trying to qualify for the Dog Bowl, breaking down the weekly BRs and all the fun stuff. So appreciate you all hanging out. If you could hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, we appreciate you.
He's making fun of you. Those are really inspiring names. The tight ends you listed.
Yeah, they might not be inspiring to some, but they are inspiring to me.
Yeah.
All right, so we're coming up here. We have a 2-5-5-1. We'll recap the team after we make this pick.
Gadsden feels like unclickable in the 160s right now.
Yeah.
He might not play at all. I was into him in the beginning of the season. I'm not into it whatsoever anymore.
I think we go 3rd and Juwan here.
Yeah, I like Juwan.
Yeah, I think we need to build out the receiver room a bit. And there's so many tight ends available here that I don't think one stands out above the other to me.
This is where it's like kind of the same tier.
Agree.
And Juwan goes. That's unfortunate.
All right.
I don't hate Wicks low key, but
yeah,
it's
a bit of a reach.
Take a tight end.
Yeah, a tight end will fall back to us. We could take Wicks.
All right.
Wicks has been having a pretty good camp even before the Lemon injury. I can see him rising to a price that I'd never want to take him in a couple days if the Lemon news continues to be bearish.
Yeah. If I do the big dog with you, I might have to put you guys on the big screen. Major jump scare potential for passerby. Yeah, make sure you close your shades, lock your door. We can't have anyone seeing my face on the big screen.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Is that the Dog Bowl champ? I pretty much target elite tight end or wait for Johnson, Schultz, Freiermuth. Pretty much how I do it, unless I take what's the Cleveland guy's name? Fannin.
Harold Fannin, yeah. I have 60% Schultz, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gadsden feels awful. Barely took him at 180 stacked. Yeah, you just sent me a team yesterday when you had him at like 185 or something stacked.
Yeah, I was like, if I'm not going to take this guy in the 180s, then I'm literally never going to take him. And it was one of those where it was like, do I want him or Freiermuth? And I really wanted Freiermuth, but I have a lot of him too. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take the fall. And I think I had two. I'm sure I had 2 other tight ends, as like prior to making that selection. But it still wasn't a comfortable click at all.
If the advancement rate is 4 to 12 first round, I will draft a big dog with you. Well, it depends who's in the room. What
have you found as your we'll take Hawkinson or Barner. I think both are good. What'd you say? I
was just asking what you were going to say.
Oh. What have you found your preferred like team builds are in terms of like 2-6-8-2, 3-5-7-3?
I think we looked at it last week. I think my highest is 3.573. I think it's like 40% 3.573.
Okay. Mine is either 3.573 or 3.483, depending on how much capital at running back we invest in.
I don't know. I just hate having 4 running backs. It just feels so fragile.
It depends because there's safety in numbers, but at the same time, like just looking at the guy out of the 3 holes team, he has 6 running backs, sure, but he has Tracy, Algier, Spears, and B-Rob. Like those guys might combine for 4 points on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
So like, sure, it feels more comfortable, but in reality, like these guys aren't really going to score points.
Did you see, speaking of training camp news, did you see your boy Marshawn Lloyd getting buzz?
Dude, I've been a Marshawn Lloyd guy
for 3 years.
For 3 years. And like
Literally.
I said it on the solo stream that I did a couple weeks ago while you took off during training camp. But if I didn't know Marshawn Lloyd existed, I would have had so much more money to my name the last 3 years. But I really think this is the year. And I don't know. I'm trying to like not get too over my skis with it. But at the same time, like, you have the Josh Jacobs potential lingering suspension, which I'm not drafting him to. I'm not drafting Lloyd because of that, to be clear. But I do, like, we saw Jacobs have a decline in efficiency as the season went on. He was dealing with that nagging knee injury. Marshawn Lloyd appears to be healthy in training camp, and by all accounts, he's having an amazing, start to the season. If you can get the guy who's a running back 2 on a team that likes to run the ball in Green Bay in round 16 or 17, basically free every time, like, why not take the chance on it?
I mean, it's hard not to like Lloyd straight up over Mike Washington, Dylan Sampson, Jaden Blue, Brian Robinson. I think I prefer Lloyd over all of them.
For sure. Because Lloyd has like unknown potential. This is definitely an Otten pick here.
Otten over Sadiq. Sadiq with a big fall.
Yeah.
I don't hate Sadiq and going for tight ends. Get some upside.
Well, let's see who's there.
Dust running backs. Or dust tight ends, I mean.
I mean, I don't know. I think Cade Otton's going to project for way more than Sadiq.
I think we need the upside. Let's do it. Let's go 4 tight ends.
We'll see if Otten falls to us.
Yes, I completely. Lloyd has so many outs to be useful. Taking Blue over him is hilariously wrong. I agree. Yeah, I love Lloyd for this. Everyone loves Lloyd. What's the worst that could happen?
Well, here's the thing. I love Lloyd now because he's free in round 16 or 17. If Lloyd goes, nuclear to like the 11th or 12th round, like, then we'll have to have another hard conversation I don't want to have.
I mean, even like just like looking at the board, like Bigsby, Pacheco, like Kamara, I don't know. I could see Lloyd getting to the Tracy tier.
I know, me too. Like Keaton Mitchell, I know people like him, but
I'm kind of into it now. I've seen the light.
Keaton Mitchell's not even like, he's not even the clear RB. He's not even the clear handcuff to me. Like Kamani Vidal is fine, as much as people don't want to acknowledge it. Like Chris Brooks is the running back 3 in Green Bay. It's like a very clean, like they had, like the Packers had all offseason to address the potential Josh Jacobs lingering suspension. And you know what they did? Nothing. They got Marshawn Lloyd healthy and have really enjoyed watching him practice ever since. Still an Otten pick for me.
Otten falls. Jeremy's staring at me in the face.
Njoku over Otten. My God. I think I'd go Otten. There's some receivers late that I like.
We can always jam Keenan Allen like we do every draft.
It's gonna work. We said it on the stream. We've been saying it on the stream for a long time. Keenan Allen, Deebo Samuel. Speaking of which, did you finish watching my 2 solo streams from 2 weeks ago?
No, it's cooked. It's too
damn.
late.
Well, you should watch the last 5 minutes because I basically called the top on DeJuan Stribling before Deebo signed. Like literally maybe 10 minutes after that stream ended, I ended the stream, right before Deebo signed. I was like, people are drafting DeJuan Stribling when Deebo Samuel's going to sign there. It's inevitable. And you're going to be able like keep drafting Deebo at 160 because he's going to flip Stribling once Deebo signs inevitably. And then literally 10 minutes later after the stream ends, notification from our mother, saying, "Did you know that Deebo signed?" I said, "Did he sign with the Niners?" And she said, "Yes, he did." I said, "There you go." Keenan Allen goes, jump free, you're a smart man. And I hate
making me take Tez Johnson. That's all you, brother. I'm good on Tez Johnson.
Oof.
Just clicked Keenan and Elim as you said that. He's probably a turbo smash in the Elim, right?
Yeah, I mean, early season production, assuming he signs. To me, it's not a matter of if but when. It's been like that for me for months, which is why I've been consistently like on the Keenan Allen drumbeat. He's free. He's a guy that's going to score over 120 points. If he scores those in the right weeks for you, whether it's in the Elim or BBM, he will almost assuredly pay off his ADP.
Yeah. What do you think about this? Samson's the real guy. He hasn't steamed.
Samson is an intriguing player because he has a very fantasy friendly profile where he's involved in the passing game. He was like the best pass catching running back by all metrics last year for rookie running backs.
But like, is he live to ever get 10 carries? Like, no matter what,
I don't know. But
if Judkins jumps off the plane that's going to Cleveland, is he getting 10 carries? Probably not.
I don't know, but does that matter? Like, does 10 carries on the Browns matter when they stack the box? Probably not. Like, I'd want a guy. If you told me I could get either 10 carries on the Browns or 4 receptions, I'm picking 4 receptions for my running back every time.
Yeah, Samson is not in there for running the football. He's there for catching passes. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if like some of these late receivers. I thought
it's just Jeremy Bernard all day of the week.
It's either it's Jeremy or like I think Fields is interesting too.
I read my mind.
He's been getting some buzz recently.
Malachi Fields is going to be on the field for all 2 wide receiver sets. That's just what it is.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
All right. You want to recap the team?
Yeah. 2-5-7-4. Quarterback room of Drake May and Brock Purdy. Running backs, we have Christian McCaffrey, Jeremiah Love, Cam Scoutaboo, Jalen Warren, and Jonathan Brooks. Wide receiver room of A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Romeo Doubs, Deebo Samuel, Travis Hunter, Dontavian Wicks, Jeremy Bernard, and our 4 tight ends to round it out, Hunter Henry, TJ Hawkinson, Kenyon Sadiq, and Mr. Cade Otton. This is a fun team. I like it. It's a unique build, one that we don't usually do, but it's well correlated. It's, got multiple stacking outs. It's a good team.
Yeah, I'm going to share the entire board so that you can roast everyone else's team. I think this is the tab. So
yes.
Go AZ Cards has Jonathan Taylor, Omarion Hampton, Zay Flowers, Ted McMillan, DeAndre Swift, Jaden Daniels, Cortland Sutton, Steph Diggs, Sam Laporta, Kyle Pitts, Baker Mayfield, Omar Cooper, Jalen Naylor, Juwan Jennings, Jaden Blue, Geno Smith, Nick Singleton, and Torrey Horton.
I think Torrey Horton is also clickable in the last round for what it's worth. I've taken him.
I agree. I don't like the running backs. Hampton, Swift, and then Jaden Blue and Nick Singleton. I'm a little worried.
Yeah, I think like I'm scared of Sutton too. Round 7 is like a pretty high price to pay for me. Like I would have Reed over Sutton personally.
Yeah.
And I think Laporta is kind of like that dead zone-y tight end. Like to me, like he's never going to be the number 1 in targets on that team, assuming Amon-Ra's healthy. You could get that with Fannin, who I know went a couple picks earlier, but not a guy that I want to pay up for this year.
Yep. And then jump free. I think it's the only other friend in here. Oh, no, GPNGC. Justin Jefferson, Derrick Henry, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Tyler Warren, Rico Dowdle, Blake Corum, JCM, Wandale, Coker, Shaheed, Cam Ward, Jonah Coleman, Gunnar Helm, Pat Bryant, Keenan Allen, and Mike Gesicki. That is an easy team if I've ever seen one.
That is a good team. However, rounds 13 through 15, you lost me. Yeah. I would never, I'm not a Cam Ward guy. Where did he go? Yeah. Coleman has been getting some buzz, especially.
I think Coleman's a good pick.
Yeah. I wasn't a fan of him coming into the league. So it's a bit of a gap for me there. I'll admit. Maybe I'll be wrong with it, but we'll see. And then Gunnar Helm, like if you're going to take Ward, I guess you take Helm, but again, not a guy that really showed me much last year.
My quants are into Gunnar Helm. I don't know what the deal is, but my quants are into Gunnar Helm.
Okay.
4 left to fill, probably instant fill. Don't fill it yet. I hopped in, so please don't join it yet. We have to wait for Cups.
Yeah. We got 10 minutes before Mr. Cups is done with work and can join the show.
So GPNGC can't see it, but I can move our faces. Let's see. All right, there we go. So he's in the 12 spot. He had Genty, Barkley, T. Higgins, Colson Loveland, Christian Watson, Jordan Tyson, Tucker Kraft, RJ Harvey, Jordan Love, Alec Pierce, DeJon Stribling, Denzel Boston, Daniel Jones, Charbonnet, A.D. Mitchell, Marshawn Lloyd, Tua, and Antonio Williams. I like it, except I don't like Tua. But that team, it's good. It's actually a good team.
Yeah, Tua's Two is a tough pick for me. Williams is a tough pick. Charbonnet ahead of Lloyd, who we don't know when he's coming back, is tricky for me. What I would have done differently on this team, if you're looking for unsolicited feedback, I think you went too early with the 2 tight ends. I think there were some other values at non-tight end positions that were available there. And again, you could have gotten like you could have given yourself the choice instead of taking AD Mitchell to have either Barner or Freiermuth there on the turn. And I think you would have liked that 2v2 a bit better.
Mr. Pre-bunked malinformant, you didn't win the bet yet. We have 3 years before we know if you won the bet.
Hold on, what's the bet? Can I get in on this?
We made this on stream. We made the bet that there won't be a BBM 10. I bet that there would be a BBM 10. He bet that there wouldn't. Oh,
that's right. I forgot. Pre-bunked is bearish on Underdog.
Very bearish on Underdog.
Now, what would you give the odds of a live like dog bowl, whether NBA, NFL, or something else?
NFL is 99% for next year. For like
2027?
Yeah.
Okay.
For next year, 90%.
Okay.
And then NBA, who knows? Because NBA kind of filled. NBA kind of filled pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. It was like 80% plus, like basically every slate from what I saw.
Although I don't know. That's a conversation for later stream.
Yep. GM Eggers, thanks for hopping in. We are 10 minutes away from Mr. Cups joining the program, where we'll be doing a $500 big dog. So the reason you're doing the big dog is because you bet on Cups to win. So this is like you sort of repaying him for doing his job.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
It could have been PPR Tyler, but he had to lose.
Yeah. Well, PPR Tyler, like I've been hanging out in his stream now that I know he has a stream recently, and he gave us a very nice compliment. He said he usually watches streams for every 5 minutes, and then he goes to do something else. He watches our stream for 10 minutes, then he bounces. And you know what? Wow. I respect that. I really do.
Yeah, he left. He dropped a comment in there and wasn't even there for when I made fun of him, so it's pretty disappointing.
Yeah, we'll have to send it to him after.
I have a question for you, hypothetically. If it gets announced that Deshaun Watson is 100% starting at least week 1, where would you draft him? Would you draft him?
No, I would take Shador.
Yeah.
Because I think whoever starts week 1 is probably not live to finish the season.
Fair. What about if Shador is starting week 1? 100%.
I think I'd still, you know what? I think I'd take Shador. I think Shador is the one who finishes the season. So I guess that's my take. I think Watson does start the season because I think inevitably both will play. Neither of them are draftable to me in BBM because we talk about the importance of not taking zeros. You in best ball, you definitely can't take zeros at quarterback. I mean, I guess like last round pick, not as big of a deal, but you're still like, you obviously don't want to zero on a 2 or 3 QB build, regardless of the draft capital spent.
I'm going to switch back to what's the right overlay. See, this is the problem. Bad production. And then, so I jumped in the big dog. We still need 2.
Yes. Thank you, Inglex. 2 more to fill. Hopefully it does not fill. We'll see.
I don't like with I don't know. I don't know if I'm into any Browns quarterbacks at all. Like, I guess, I don't know. Shador looks so fucking bad last year.
Shador looked bad last year. I agree.
Is there a chance he's better? Yeah.
I mean, who's to say that he can't take the year 2 step? I mean, it might not be a big step. It might be more like a skip, but it could still be something.
Could be something. This is going to fill way too quick. I'm not liking this.
Yeah, this is tough.
This is an interesting take. I think Tua has a better chance to finish the season than the Cleveland quarterbacks.
Oh, interesting. I still think Penix is going to finish the season with the Falcons, and I feel decently good about that. I'm not going to draft him in a non-Superflex contest, which Underdog, by the way, has seemed to just entirely abandon after they had like that Superflex maybe in like June, which is very disappointing. But I don't know. Like, is Tua anything without Mike McDaniel? I guess we'll find out this year. But I think Penix still has some. I think Penix is fine.
Yeah. This is a sharp lobby. We got Chris, we got AZ Cards, we got GPNGC, we got Ingle, we got BP Colonia.
Yeah, and you know who we don't have? Mr. Alex Cups.
Let me message him, tell him no rush, but draft filled.
Yeah, and Andrew notes that every highlight is a duck. That is true. Rowan says he's going to have 3% Shador and no Watson. Yeah, if I was to draft anyone, that's pretty much about how much and how I would allocate my exposure. And 30% Concepcion. Yep. Yeah, Concepcion is interesting. He's more expensive than Boston. I don't know how long that's going to last with the way Boston's getting hype and Concepcion's shoulder injury. So I think that gap is going to close. So I've been taking more Boston recently just because he's cheaper. And I do expect that we'll be able to get Concepcion in the next couple of weeks at a bit more of a discount.
Yeah, I think just going into like the Atlanta or Cleveland quarterbacks, I think I'm probably more into Cleveland quarterbacks and taking a chance because I like the Cleveland ancillary pieces more. Like Boston's a great pick. Concepcion is a good pick. Fannon's a great pick.
It's kind of an interesting year because Cleveland and the Jets both and even the Raiders, they all have like pretty talented skill position players, like two, like couple first round rookies, second round rookies, Genty, who we know that, we know what he is, and Bowers is like the best tight end prospect, basically ever. Like these guys have all they need is like average quarterback play to just not be the worst offense in football and pay off their ADP.
Yeah, I agree. Same thing with the Jets. They're I just hate the ugly teams.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the other thing. Atlanta quarterbacks probably will project better than the Cleveland quarterbacks, though. That's the other thing.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, right. Cups just messaged me, said he's coming over right now. So
sweet.
I told him we'll take Genty for him if he's not here in time.
Yeah, he's a big Genty guy. I'm aware.
I am going to start to mix in some Eli Raridan. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, he's a guy that I don't know too much about, so I'd be curious how Cups has him, like how he projects in his prospect model.
Yeah, the only thing that here he is, Cupsy.
Yo,
how are you,
boys? Can you hear me?
How we doing?
I can.
All right, we're doing well. How we doing?
Pretty good.
Good. I was watching the stream, so I was seeing when it filled, and then I hopped in here as quick as I could.
Perfect.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Looks like we're about to be up already. Perfect timing.
Yeah. So, are you still into Genty at this part?
I mean, yeah. This is heavy Genty for me. I mean, you could make a case for Amon-Ra who just goes, but I think outside of Amon-Ra, this would be Genty for me all day.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Let's go, baby.
Let's do it.
It's better EV than taking him at the one where I did with Rambus and our big eliminator. Did you last Friday for that stream?
No, I wasn't, unfortunately.
Oh my God. It was a disaster, bro. I told him we could take Genty at the one in our big dog, and then I got the location error right as we were about to be on the clock. And we autoed Jahmyr Gibbs, and he was devastated.
I gotta watch that.
Brutal.
So congratulations on So You Think You Can Tout.
Thank you, bro. Thank
awesome.
you. Yeah.
Not only on So You Think You Can Tout, but all the extra stuff that kind of came with it too.
Yeah. No, it's been a whirlwind over the last week. It's been super busy. So exciting, but a lot of work coming down the pipeline.
Who do you like here?
I like Derrick Henry. I definitely would think another running back for me would be Henry, but I could go with Chase Brown. I'm not a big HN guy. Hampton, I'd probably have behind those two as well. So up to you between those two, or wide receiver. You could sell me.
I think I'm Henry, Brian.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm Henry or Chase Brown, but I think Henry's fine.
Do we care? I mean, like, as you guys are doing a lot more best ball than I have, obviously, how big of a deal is it that our two running backs up top are both by week 13? Is that something we really care about that much, or not really?
I don't care at all.
Okay.
No,
if we have four running backs with the same bye, then I'm worried.
Sure.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Two running backs. I mean, we're going to have, obviously, I'm sure we'll take another couple in the next few rounds here. So we'll be fine eating to zero for both of them in week 13.
Cubs, when are you quitting your job?
Dude, probably not for a while. That was definitely like something I thought about, because I could have taken a full-time offer in fantasy after So You Think You Can Tout, but it's just, I'm a software engineer. It's a very different, it would be a big difference in lifestyle in terms of like where I'm at right now. I'm, with my wife, like thinking about having a family soon. We just bought a house last year. Like, we're kind of locked into like a software engineering salary. You know what I mean? So it would be a tough swing for me. Maybe someday. We'll see how things look in like a year or two. But for now, I'm content trying to balance both and just see what happens.
Yeah, I don't blame you. At least give it a shot for the first year.
Yeah.
Were you always into Go ahead, Eric.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Were you always into like data? Did you like study anything else while you were, in college or anything like that?
I honestly didn't get into like the data stuff until like 2 or 3 years ago for my master's. I was a business major actually at college, business information systems. So I did like kind of like the tech side of business, but only took like one coding class. But I was able to land like a software engineering job out of college because I did some like other coding stuff on the side back in like 2019. But then I figured out that I was into like the data stuff in like 2023, 2024, and went back for school for data science masters. But the big reason I was interested in even going back for a master's was because of like the fantasy football stuff. Like I've been huge into like data and fantasy forever, and I think that's kind of like what was the driver for me was like, maybe we can do something with data in something I'm interested in, like outside of my job. So I'm glad I did, because it obviously opened a lot of doors with the So You Think You Can Tout stuff and everything else going on.
Yeah, I'm really interested in your model. Like, I feel like it was a throwaway comment that you made one time that I just like latched onto. You said you had like a model that like projects, I think it was rookies like top 3 fantasy points per game or something like that.
It's their best. So what my model is like projecting for is fantasy ceiling over their careers. Because you can project for like NFL fantasy points per game across their career, but that introduces some like noise from like maybe 3 or 4 years at the end where they're just playing like 4 or 5 games and they're washed. Like it'll tank their fantasy points per game. You could also project for like, their rookie fantasy points per game or their first 3 years if you're like a dynasty player. But I was just like, what encapsulates like how good a player is going to be in fantasy at their absolute peak is just their best 3 years on average in terms of fantasy points per game. So that's what my model right now is predicting for, is like, what does the ceiling of this player look like? Not necessarily in a given year, but like over their career.
Right. Fascinating. What do you have for like Jonathan Brooks? Like in that, do you have that off the top of your head?
Yeah.
Really?
Off the top of my head, it was like 9.3 PPR points per game.
Interesting. Do you have any, like, let's make this pick and then I'll follow up. I would love if McBride fell.
That would be fun. Yeah, that would be really fun. What are we at? What pick is this? 30?
Pick 33.
I would like that a lot, actually. Yeah.
McBride goes.
Okay. Oh, man.
I'm into T. I don't really like that. I'm into Olave a little.
I'm cool with either of these wide receivers. I think we definitely lock up one of them. I see all like 4 that are on the screen right now kind of in a tier for me. Like I don't really have a major lean anyway, to be honest, in this range of wide receivers. I would have liked Waddle, I think, over those guys, but
really,
yeah, me too.
Dude, I'm buying the Waddle hype this year. I know we've gotten for the past couple of years, but I think this might just be the one.
So for Jonathan Brooks, I feel like if you just have his draft capital is like where he went, like, because he dropped because of his ACL tear. So like, did you do any like bumps for him because of that or no?
No, so it's interesting because when you get into like the nitty gritty of stuff like that, it's more easy to account for it manually, like in your head, than it is actually adjust for it in the data. Because then you can make excuses for everybody, like one way or another, and it's really hard to like quantify those things is what I found. It gets really messy. So
yeah. And then we're coming up on the clock here. Okay. We have Genty, Derrick Henry, and Olave. Anything strong standing out here?
How do you feel about like another run? Would another running back be insane? I also like Burden. Okay.
I think another running back's a good pick.
I would be between Jacobs and Scattaboo would be my 2.
I'd probably lean Jacobs. Brian, thoughts?
Yeah, I think I lean Jacobs as well.
Yeah.
Let's rip it. I like that. That's 3 solid running backs right there to start it off.
Yeah. Yep.
And we can take Marshawn Lloyd in round 16 to just, really lock up that Green Bay offense. We'll be good to go.
Buddy, Marshawn Lloyd will be going in round 14 in this.
It's a ranked lobby for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this true? Genty came out to 23 points per game.
Yeah, 23.98. He was the highest ever. I think McCaffrey, when I went and back tested it on like what CMC would have been, he was like 22.5, 23. So he was right behind Genty. But obviously McCaffrey, I think like he is actually like over his best 3 seasons, like 26.5. So he's the number 1 of all time. And then Genty would be the number 2 if he can prove to get there.
Interesting. Any interesting rookies from like this year that are like that you're different on the market?
Oh man, let's see. Jeremiah Love, obviously not like super different than the market because the market's so fucking sharp now, dude. Like it's really hard to find a super big edge. I guess like outside of draft capital, in terms of like guys that really popped for me in production that like maybe we're underrating them a little bit. The biggest discrepancy there would be Elijah Surratt, who had insane production. He had the second best production profile out of all the wide receivers in the 2026 class in my model, but he falls to like pick 115, right? So it gets really messy. His comps don't look super good. Like there's some guys that like Tylan Wallace, another Raven, another guy that had like a super solid production profile that like just did nothing at the NFL level. So that would be the guy that I'm like most interested in targeting. Also, DeJon Stribling, kind of like the inverse of Surratt, like doesn't have production whatsoever, but gets picked 33rd overall. So the draft capital is like hard carrying him, and he has some pretty solid comps. So I'm definitely interested in like, I'd say those guys are two of my favorites. I'm more dynasty brained, obviously. So I'm like looking at these guys from a rookie class perspective on like dynasty drafts. And then also looking at like big discrepancies in terms of redraft, but best ball, like, yeah, still kind of getting my sea legs, I think, in terms of finding the best values in the rookie class there.
Yeah, another interesting one too. I actually watched a video on Nick Singleton because I use Easy's tool and he always yells at me to take Singleton. And
Really?
you were like talking him up a little bit, and then it gets to the comps and it's like 20 guys I've never heard of. I was like, oh shit, that's not great.
No, it's not. I mean, he just, it's so hard to overcome that draft capital. I think, what was it, like 165, 175?
Yeah.
It's like you're low-key dust unless you can come onto the scene really early. And like you rarely see that guy given the reins to the backfield again, like in a following year, you know, like so they'll draft another guy that'll bring in competition. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious what Easy sees. Obviously, like Singleton has some really good receiving metrics that I think are really interesting. But I mean, you also have Tajay Spears, who I think is one of the better receiving backs in the league. So
I don't hate Lamar here. We could also just like fully just go running back heavy.
I would love to rip Bucky Irving and just go.
Yeah, I think Bucky's the clear pick here for me too.
Four stick running backs. Would we stop at 4 here? I know you were saying earlier on the screen that look, he's not comfy with 4. He says it's a little fragile, huh?
It scares me. It scares me. I wouldn't do it for like until like the 14th or 15th round now, unless some crazy value comes. But
yeah, okay. I mean, this is a sick team. I don't know if I've started a team like 4 out of the 5 first picks running backs this year, but I like it so far. I think we'll see how we land the plane, but I just feel like there's so many better values late at the wide receiver position, at the tight end position, especially tight end. I feel like we could really rip a couple solid ones late.
Completely agree. Let's see anything in the
Cups,
chat.
what about Parker Washington? I know you've been historically like a Jacoby Myers guy. Like I'm not a P-Wash guy myself. Any sort of, are you like kind of holding firm with P-Wash is not the guy, or are you capitulating a bit more with all the news recently?
Man, P-Wash is probably like the toughest guy for me to figure out on the board because his prospect profile wasn't great. He fell in the draft, but like let's make this pick and I'll continue there. Mm-hmm. What do we think?
We kind of need a receiver here, either Thomas or Marv.
I think those are both good year 2 bets. If you have a strong lean on one of them,
Brian, let's go BTJ.
Yeah, BTJ opens up a nice stack with T-Law potentially as well.
True. We were just talking about we're into T-Law. Me and Brian are both into T-Law.
Big time. No, I'm super into T-Law this year. I think I'm just into getting pieces of the Jags in general. It's hard for me to figure out like which one of those guys is going to be the guy. But I think like I'd rather just take stabs at the cheaper options rather than, for the most part, like if you had to give me like 2 guys at cost, I think it would be Jacoby Myers and Travis Hunter over Parker Washington and BTJ. Just because for the most part, I feel like Jacoby did 90%, if not 100% of everything Parker Washington did, at least put on wax like down the stretch last year. Jacoby's just consistently underrated, and he continues to, outproduce his draft slot every single season. So I don't know. I think grabbing him and also Travis Hunter, particularly in redraft, where we can just figure out so quickly, like, what's the plan for this guy? Like week 1, we can look at snap counts. Week 2, we can see snap counts. And if we don't think it looks good, we just drop him. Right.
Yeah.
But in best ball, it's a little bit more of a tough click, because if we do see like the snap counts we don't like to see that are favoring defense, Early in the year, you can't just cut him, and you're kind of just hoping for an injury out at that point with Hunter.
Right. I feel like Hunter is like really live. Like if someone gets hurt, like that's like he's just a smash though. If someone ahead of him gets hurt,
yeah,
he might be like 80% offensive snaps at that point.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think there's any doubt that Hunter's like a talented wide receiver. We saw what he did before he, was out for the year last year in that last game in London. He came out really well in my model. Obviously, it's like, second overall draft capital is like kind of hard carrying that quite a bit. And like, is that Fugazi draft capital? Like, where would he have gone if he was just a wide receiver? Probably not second overall.
Right.
But regardless, it's like, yeah, he still comes out as a super solid prospect. Not a guy that I would want to fade if he were to like get a full-time offensive role.
I am also curious what your model is. We'll make the pick first, but what your model thinks about Tyson versus Tate. Because I'm taking a lot of both of them.
Yeah.
So if we want T-Law, Ingle has P-Wash next. If you want to push him and just take downs, I'm good. Or somebody else, I'm down with that too. No pun intended.
I think we just push it and take downs. I like downs.
Yeah, let's rip downs. I love that.
Yeah.
Downs is one of my favorite clicks on the board at wide receiver as a whole.
Cups approved wide receiver pick. Love it.
Yep, us too.
Absolutely. This is the year. Hopefully.
Yeah, Brian, you're a big downs guy, aren't you?
I've been a big downs guy for years. Like Downs and Marshall and Lloyd are kind of like my brand guys, and it hasn't worked out yet, but things are starting to the stars are starting to align unless Keenan Allen just comes and steals my lunch.
Oh, dude, if Keenan Allen just like tanks another year for me with like Ladd last year and this year tanking Downs, I mean, I'd be so sick.
Yeah. Keenan Allen's a sore subject for me for many reasons.
Yeah, me too.
I'm hoping Ingle doesn't take T-Law, but I'm guessing he's going to. Like the sidekick wants to take another running back. I think I'm good. I think I'll pass on that.
Yeah, I think I'm fine.
Doesn't that feel kind of insane? Wow, he leaves him for us.
I think we have to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take T-Law here.
Yeah, he ain't getting it back. So,
but going back to the Tyson Tate thing, where does your model rank on that?
Yeah, so my model comes out with Tate ahead. And it's close because like I think both of them are really solid prospects. But what it comes down to for me is I revamped my model this past off season and like really got into the weeds on like the very specific metrics that like actually proved to be predictive year over year since 2014 when it comes to like each position's fantasy points per game at the NFL level. Like when I did my masters, I was kind of like trying to do what felt right in my brain, like really heavily weighting like yards per route run, targets per route run, like per route efficiency metrics that you hear like as buzzwords. That was like what I was really basing a lot of my work off of, or at least the start of it was like, all right, these things seem like they should be important. So I'm going to like put a heavy weight on them. But what I found is there's really only like 5 or 6 metrics that really provide signal. And one of the biggest ones, especially at wide receiver, is just how good was your team in college? Like how good was your program? How good was the competition you played? There's metrics for that, like simple rating system from Sports Reference that basically takes into account like every team that you played, their strength of schedules on average. And stuff like that is like unbelievably important, even just predicting individual success at a position. And what it comes down to is obviously Ohio State with Tate was just a massive powerhouse, even though that's kind of like a proxy for teammate score, I think, as well. Like it covers like, he was never the one, but Jeremiah Smith was there, who's going to be like, a top pick. And on the other side, you have Jordan Tyson, who was balling out, but it was at ASU, where it's the simple rating system for ASU is probably like 20th percentile across the entire college football landscape, whereas Ohio State's like one of one. So that's what gave the push for Tate for me over Tyson. But I think you could hear an argument from anyone on like the production profile from Tyson being better than Tate, because it just straight up was. Like if you're just looking at numbers, not considering like the program level stuff, then you would easily get to Tyson being over Tate. But for me, it's Tate. They're interchangeable though. Like they're really, really close in my opinion.
Yeah. It's really interesting because I remember I was listening to Davis talk to JJ Zacharyson, and he was saying that he was having trouble with the whole like teammate thing with like Tate, and like how do you like account for Jeremiah Smith? Like it's hard. Like that's a good way to do it though with the team strength.
Yeah. You just have to guess at some point. Like if you really want to get down to like a granular level of like he had this wide receiver teammate and it's Jeremiah Smith who's not in the NFL yet, you have to like guess on what his draft capital will be, and it gets a little messy.
I like Fannin. I could be convinced
yes.
to the quarterback. Yeah, you like Fannin?
Nope. Yep. Give me
Fannon's a smash.
Yeah, I have a
Wow.
lot of Fannin.
I'm gonna be honest. This team like is like my perfect team. I don't think I could have drawn up a better team. I'm loving it.
You're not into Matthew Golden, are you?
No, not one bit.
Love to hear that.
Wow.
That just made my day.
Cups, you're speaking Gumby's love language over here.
I mean, Golden is like a historically bad first round wide receiver prospect. And when you combine that with the fact that he just didn't do anything his rookie season, it's giving me like Sky Moore, like PTSD, where Sky Moore had an absolutely dog shit first year and then gets steamed up again in the offseason because it's like, oh, the Chiefs slow roll their rookies. This is going to be our guy. And you see all the Sky Moore clips coming out of training camp. And then he proceeds to go out there like week 1. I don't know if you remember that game against the Lions where it's like the Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore just disaster class. Like they both had like 6 drops, like 3 caused interceptions. It was unbelievable.
It was awesome.
Yeah, me and Brian are Giants fans, so we are. I follow Kadarius Toney's career very closely.
Okay.
For all the wrong reasons.
As a hater.
Oh, okay. You're hate watching.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Absolutely.
I like the quarterbacks here. Kyler, Jordan Love, Stafford.
Yeah. Are there any like correlated bets that we would make?
Love with Jacobs potentially.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We could do Baker with Bucky, but I think I prefer Love straight up over Baker.
Me too.
I think so too. Yeah.
Good call there. I think Love would probably be the best pick there.
Are you going to do like any like projections like for like each week, like weekly projections or no?
That was one thing I don't know if I'm going to be doing that this season just because I'm going to be so busy with a bunch of other stuff. Right. I did have a couple calls. I did have a couple of calls about like potential before I took a job with Fantasy Life. Like I talked to other places about actually running their projections, and I'd never done projections or like working on their projections team at least. And yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because I've never done them obviously, but it was surprising to me how much projections are kind of just like vibes based. It's not really a whole lot of, I don't know, because you need to look at like the trends in a given year. So you're really only baking in historical data for the team in like the first 3 weeks until you get a sample size for this given season. And then from there, you're just looking at like the trends of that team in the given season, right? Where a lot of the stuff I do with data is really heavy based on the past decade of data, right? So it's like big data sets. Projections would really be like kind of a smaller thing that not to say it's not super important because it really is. It's like, I just don't know if I would be the best equipped to do that with the stuff that I've learned in like my data science program.
Makes sense. What do you use for like data stuff? We're going to lose all our viewers now.
Yeah, but Gumby's never been more engaged or locked in. So just talk to him.
Locked in.
What do I use? Like
Excel, SQL.
Oh no,
Python.
I have my like a whole database in SQL that I'd like scraped a bunch of like sources and kind of built out my own data set. And then I'll use Python to like grab it, retrieve whatever I need from the database, and then build up, the models that way.
I hate SQL. I was keeping like a database of like the daily contests.
Yeah.
And it's just a bitch and a half to manage. I just have like a folder with like a CSV, like a million CSVs, and I just use Python to deal with it.
I think I would, if I could go back and do it again, I would do that.
Really?
Because I pay like $20 a month for Amazon RDS, like their database system. And it's just like, they're always bugging me to like update my shit. I'm like, I don't care.
Khalil Shakir to me is like a huge tier break.
Shakir, you said?
Shakir, yeah.
Yeah. You're into
I'm
Shakir
cool with
cups?
That. Yeah, let's rip it.
So just to recap the team real quick, we have T-Law, Jordan Love, Genty, Henry, Jacobs, Bucky, Olave, Brian Thomas, Josh Downs, Khalil Shakir, and Harold Fannin.
That's a sick team, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm loving it.
Feeling real good right now. I'm not going to lie. We might get boxed out of third quarterback here, though. That's the only thing. We might maybe like Aaron Rodgers and like Jeremy. What's your model say about Jeremy? Because I have a ton of him.
Does not like Jeremy.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I thought we were friends, Cups.
I know. I was batting 1,000, but
I know. It was nice.
I mean, we could. Does Malik Willis make sense as a third quarterback? I'm not even a big Malik Willis guy, but he's like such a ceiling bet. I don't know.
What about Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones might fall.
Does he make it back?
135 Marshawn Lloyd. Holy shit.
Yeah, I tried to tell you.
I think Stribling is more important than a third quarterback.
Yeah.
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 All right. All right, fine. I'd like
You got to listen to the model. Cuff's model likes Stribling. 33rd overall pick. Good offense. Probably going to be third or fourth in target share. Hopes to happen in the right week.
Yeah, gone are the days of getting Stribling like 190. Holy shit. What is he now? Was that 136 for us?
Yeah. Yep.
He's going up the boards. I mean, I guess it makes sense, obviously. Like the Pearsall thing was a huge blocker. How did you guys feel about Pearsall before the injury? Were you drafting a lot of him or were you out?
I just had him. I took him one time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Yeah, I took him once after the report came out that he might miss the season at like pick 190. I was like,
Okay.
if he doesn't, then I'm going to be really happy about it. If not,
yeah,
fine with the fade.
So you guys were just full fade, like not even clicking him. I was the same way. I don't think I clicked him once.
Yeah. What about your model with like this tier of rookies? Stribling, Boston, Cooper. Is it kind of interchangeable?
Stribling, Boston, Cooper. Cooper first, just because he draws way better comps. That the difference between mid to late first, like 22nd overall, the comps you get in that range versus the early second are actually drastically different. The guys that you're getting in that late first round are a lot better in terms of fantasy relevance. And Cooper actually did have some interesting production stuff. I think he kind of plays a similar style of wide receiver as well to a guy like Brandon Ayuk. Like I could see Omar Cooper's like ceiling kind of being like peak Brandon Ayuk. If you remember before he went off the rails, like, and got his leg snapped by the 49ers, like that, he could definitely be a guy that the Jets are obviously so hard to read. And they obviously have Garrett Wilson as well. So the situation isn't great, but Cooper would definitely be my favorite out of those three. And then honestly, I think I'm probably Stribling over Boston, which is not what you would expect, like looking at like dynasty ADP right now. I think Boston's like the 111 in the rookie class on average. And I think Stribling's like the 212. So he's falling like super far. But I mean, Boston I feel like he serves a way more important role for the Browns in real life, being like a sacrificial X than he will be in fantasy, you know?
We could do the double with
Travis Hunter.
Yeah, let's go. It's just getting better and better.
10 picks past ADP is pretty fun. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I think we start to consider quarterback, maybe another tight end, maybe running back. I don't know.
Nah.
We'll see what the room gives us. The beauty, you got to be flexible. You got to be nimble. If you couldn't have predicted Travis Hunter falling 10 picks past ADP here.
Oh, that's so sick. I love
Do what the room gives.
Yeah, we got a couple questions in the chat. That is the questions after this pick. But
okay,
what are we thinking here?
We have Fannin. Nice. I forgot we had one tight end already.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, do we?
I do like Juwan more than Strange. I think if it just in a vacuum, we do have the correlated bet with Olave too. I don't know if that makes it positive or negative.
I think since the big dog and it's like smaller field, I think I prefer Strange. Just like get the full Jacksonville deal.
They're pretty close to me.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. I'm not a big fan of either of those guys' talent, but I think for me it would honestly be Gadsden. But I know you guys said that Gadsden's unclickable.
Unclickable. He's just gonna get dusted. GPNGC, can I explain why the term sacrificial X is absolute nonsense? You can if it's more than about one sentence. I will not put it on the screen though. How many inputs do you think are collinear with draft capital / what teams are doing in-house?
Like what teams are doing?
I think like for like projection wise for these rookies.
Like 49ers will just take their guy, even if it's like third round expected draft capital. They'll just take like a Ricky Pearsall or DeJon Stribling like 2 rounds earlier. Like some of it is probably hard to model.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So I'm sure it's more, that stuff I'm sure is more like art than science for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's kind of goes back to what I was saying about the like giving bumps for injury, I guess. Like it's more art than science in terms of quantifying it. But in terms of the collinearity with draft capital, it's hard to say. Like I think athleticism is definitely like the most collinear with draft capital in terms of like a relative athletic score. Guys like Matthew Golden for one. Matthew Golden, AD Mitchell, Christian Watson are a few like that come to the top of my head that like absolutely balled out at the NFL Combine. but just like didn't really have anything else to their profiles that would give them a reason to get drafted in the first or second round. So I'd say that's definitely the one that people fall in love with the most, is like, you know, the coaches that they just love watching a guy run a 40 and do the 3-cone and like, okay, this guy, they could just envision it, you know? And those are the guys that aren't, you know, probably prioritizing data quite as much as the other teams that are more analytical.
Yeah. And I remember, Brian, we looked last year. Remember there was like that article that talked about where it was like the correlation between like production and like all the combine stuff. And it was like basically nothing. The only thing that matters is draft capital because it's priced in essentially.
Yep.
Yeah. You don't want to double count it. And that's basically what people are doing when they see like that, the RAS stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, it's a great way to think about it. I have 3 main inputs into my model: is the production, which is like an all-encompassing score of a bunch of different production metrics, the size and athleticism, and then the draft capital. But the size and athleticism is only like 5%. So it's a super small input out of, you know, the 100% that is accounted for, or I guess the other 95% that's accounted for by production and draft capital.
Right. Makes sense. All right. So just so we have a idea of where we are, we have T-Law, Jordan Love, Genty, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Bucky Irving, Chris Olave, Brian Thomas, Josh Downs, Khalil Shakir, Stribling, Hunter, Fannin, and Strange.
Wow, we're getting a lot of tight ends to fall, it looks like.
Yep.
Yeah. I just always end up with Hawkinson somehow.
You're telling me you're taking Hawkinson over Gadsden.
Yes.
Wow.
I'd prefer not to take Hawkinson. Filter by ADP for a sec.
I also like Ferguson. I like Zachariah Branch, low key.
I like T. Ferg Branch. Your call.
Yeah, you pick.
Oh God, why are we doing this
Ferg,
to me?
Ferg.
We'll probably wind up getting both.
Is it okay that Ferg and Fannin have bye week 11? Do we want 4? You just drafted 4 tight ends, and to me, that like in my head, that feels insane. As someone that doesn't do a bunch of best ball, is that viable this year?
I think it's viable, but I'm not doing it a lot. Maybe like 5% of my teams have that.
Okay.
It just depends on when I take the first one. If my first tight end is after Fannin, I'll consider it, but I'm not always doing it.
So you think Fannin's kind of the line there?
Yeah.
To be like, okay. Yeah, I'm comfortable. I'd be comfortable with these 3, in my opinion. But
yeah, I think so too. I agree.
It's tricky because like at some point, let's just hypothetically say like, we'll make this pick.
Nothing's standing out to me here.
Does Mendoza with Genty interest you at all as a third? I mean, it kind of falls off the cliff after that, right? Like,
we can do it.
Yeah, because then it's the Atlanta guys and the Cleveland guys, and
yeah.
I think going back to the 4 tight end thing, like hypothetically, if Kate Otten fell to our round 18 pick, like the guys that are in that range that are not like the rookie receivers or the dusty receivers, like other than Keenan Allen because he's elite and will be in the Hall of Fame, like they're just not gonna score as many points as Otten. So even though like you already have 3, like getting that, it's not necessarily getting a 4th tight end, it's getting a guy that has the higher likelihood to score points on your team in round 18 than some of these like random rookie guys or dusty vets.
What's the model say about Jadarian Price?
Man, it's the Jadarian Price stuff is interesting. He is, I don't know. You just get such a high floor being a 32nd overall pick, at least in year 1. You're going to get a run out to be the guy, right? Like even a guy like Clyde Edwards-Helaire that proved to not be an NFL talent. He had a great year 1, right? So I think you're going to get that with Jadarian Price. I predict like range of outcomes based on their 20 closest comps that I like calculate based on their production profiles. And I think his range of outcomes had his median at like 8.5 PPR points per game, but the upside from there to like his 75th percentile outcome was like 14 points per game. So he definitely has a little bit of a range upwards. And I think it's like 25th percentile and like floor were very close to 8. Like there wasn't much of a downward tail, if that makes sense. Like he's almost guaranteed to like be a player for you. But the question is like, how good can he be if he's not talented?
Yeah, and it might be one of those things too, where like the model's not fully capturing that Jeremiah Love was ahead of him too. So like maybe bump it up a fraction, probably not a ton because he wasn't getting that much playing time because obviously Jeremiah Love was that much better. But yeah,
exactly. No, it kind of goes back to the teammate score thing. Like obviously he gets a massive bump for being at Notre Dame, which had a great SRS, but it doesn't actually account for Jeremiah Love himself, like being the guy in front of him,
Right.
So
Right.
Just the concept of taking a guy like Price as a rookie who, like a lot of times you would think like rookies, exciting, like players that come on as the season ends. Like Price is almost sort of the opposite in that way. Like you don't know with Charbonnet when he's going to come back. We don't know how involved Talani is going to be in the passing game or on third downs, like, long third down yardage.
Yeah.
He's a tough one for me. Like I like the player, but I'm also like, the Seahawks really like Charbonnet. So he's been a tough click, but I've been doing it begrudgingly because I do think, what if we're wrong and he just holds on to the job all year?
Yeah. On the clock. SYTYCT is yelling at a receiver here.
I would smash. I have 50% Calvin Ridley in my drafts, and he would clearly be my guy here.
Right,
also, how far past ADP is this? Oh, I guess not that far.
Like 12.
10 picks.
Yeah,
like
basically around. Yeah.
I thought I saw 163. Is that your rank on him, Gumby?
Yeah, that's ETR's rank. ETR's rank.
Okay.
And then are we going to stick with the 4 running backs, or are we going to try and get a 5th?
Man,
the running backs.
I mean, if you wanted like some running backs that are interesting to me, Jordan James, Katron Allen.
Yeah,
those would probably be the only two really.
Braylon Allen would probably be my one, just because he I think is guaranteed a role. Like he's going to fall into the end zone a couple of times. Probably going to be hard to predict when, but at the same time, it's like the RB2 on the Jets. I mean, I can't get super excited about it. But he's less of a zero risk than a guy like Kalen Black or Jordan James, because you obviously have to flip the coin there and figure out who it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm just going to cue some guys and then we can argue about it.
Okay. We could take Malachi Fields.
I do like Malachi Fields as a non-biased Giants fan, of course.
Right. I know you don't like. You're not a fan of Fields, right, Cups?
I mean, I have 0 Malachi Fields, so maybe this would be the one time to hedge on that. I'll let you guys make this call. This kind of comes down to structural decisions.
Brian, you pick.
Let's go Fields.
All right, let's do it.
If he's the wide receiver too, you can get him in around 18. I can see him steaming up a few weeks from now.
Is Katron Allen kind of in the same as like Nick Singleton for you?
Yeah, I mean, what was he picked, like mid 220s? It's just as much as you like the prospect, it's going to be tough for a guy like that to ever have meaningfully like impactful comps, just because it's filled with guys that never make a difference in the NFL. And his production profile really didn't stand out to the point of like, I don't know, separating in any way for me. So
the problem is he's also, I was going to say he's also behind guys who are probably in the same category as him with JCM and Rashad White.
Yeah, for me, it's like JCM was already the guy that was drafted in the 200s last year and proved that he could do it at the NFL level. And like, I don't know, just running it back and betting on that to happen 2 years in a row just feels weird to me. I don't know. I'm a pretty big fan of JCM, even though like his advanced metrics weren't great as a rookie. He does come out with some pretty solid comps, especially for a guy that was drafted like in the 220s, because, rarely do we see those guys come through and actually do anything. But when they do, they actually do have some pretty good, like a good range of outcomes, at least for year 2.
Right. All right, let's recap the team. So we had T-Law, Jordan Love, Mendoza, Genty, Henry, Jacobs, Bucky, Olave, Thomas, Downs, Shakir, Stribling, Hunter, Ridley, Fields, Fannin, Strange, and Terrence Ferguson. I like it.
It's a fun team. I mean, there's definitely been worse $500 teams drafted.
We also, I drafted some of them.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say the quiet part out loud.
We also had Go AZ Cards in here, Jaden Daniels, Malik Willis, Bryce Young. What a quarterback room that is, huh? Christian McCaffrey, Devon H. Teddy Gainwell, Tyler Algier, Katron Allen, Zay Flowers, Terry, J-Mo, Jaden Reed, Diggs, Debo, Malik Washington, Leggett, Pitts, and Dulcich.
Thin tight end room.
Yeah.
Thin tight end room and questionable quarterbacks.
I mean, do not recap GPNGC's team. We won't do it to you. Cups, I see why you won, so you think you can tout. It was awesome. Like your football knowledge is incredible. Your data knowledge, I love it. I could talk about this shit for 10 hours straight. I love it.
Yeah, bro. Are you like software engineer? Like, are you doing data stuff or
no? Okay. My data stuff is all Claude, ChatGPT, learned from playing dailies on Underdog.
Hell yeah. That's good shit. I mean, it sounds like you kind of, your stuff, dude. Claude, like, for me has also, I mean, for everybody, it's turned into just like the kind of the source. Like that's what helped me like improve my model after spending, months on it, doing it manually in 2023, 2024. Like I made it 3 times better in the span of like 2 days, just like, peer coding with Claude Code, which is like, it's not rewarding at all. It's like, damn, like this kind of sucks. But at the same time, you gotta take advantage of the tools that you have. And it seems like that's where we're going.
What's the R squared in your model?
Depends on, so when someone asks about the R squared, it's interesting. It's a big rabbit hole.
Interesting to some.
Yeah. So the R squared depends on the position. Obviously, they're all going to have different R squareds. And when you create an R squared, you're creating it against a training and a test set, right? So you have to do like a median R squared or a mean R squared across different seeds of randomness, if that makes sense. Like regenerating your training set and then regenerating the test set like 20 to 50 times and getting an R squared. And Ryan said, fun way of saying 0.4. It's actually spot on. It's around 0.4. It's like 0.45 between like 0.55 for running backs and like 0.4 for wide receivers, I think.
Oh, interesting.
Something like that. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. It's so funny how it's like we do all this work and we can predict like 40% of like outcomes. Like it really is crazy when you put it like that.
It is. I mean, the big thing is just like, does it do better than draft capital? And it does better than draft capital by like 30% at every position. So it's an improvement. I think, it's always like, I'm always looking for ways to make it better. And what it really just comes down to is like, what data do you have access to? Like the bigger your suite of data and the different features you can test against, like the more variance you're going to be able to explain for the most part. So I'm looking like, I really want to like get my hands on the fantasy points data suite just because it's so comprehensive, but it only goes back to 2021, which is the kind of the trade-off where like the rest of my stuff goes back to 2014. So
Right.
It gets a little messy in terms of blending different data sources together.
Yeah, I learned very quickly when I was doing data stuff with like mostly like just like projecting like daily stuff where it's like, oh, I add this metric and it goes from 0.33 to 0.34. It's like, well, probably just take that out. Like,
Right.
you don't really need to have that noise.
That's exactly how I did my model. Like in my master's program, it was like testing again and again, and it would go up like 0.002, but I would just leave it in. I'm like, all right, it's going up. Like we're going to leave it in. And then when I kind of went back and revisited it earlier this offseason, it's like, just get rid of all this shit and you'll see like essentially the exact same result. And it's just so much easier to understand, Yeah.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts before we get out of here, Cups?
I mean, nothing really. This team is fire. I'm very happy about this team. This is the best big dog team of the 2 that I've drafted. I'll just say that. The one with Rambus kind of went off the rails relatively quickly, but I'm stoked. I appreciate you having me on and offering to even just fire one together, bro. It's been great. I think this could be the one.
It was a blast. Brian,
it was a lot of fun. And for those that want to see more of Cups, you can follow him or subscribe to him on YouTube at Cups Analytics. I would definitely give his channel a follow, and we'll check back in about 4.5 months with this team and see what the Week 17 sweat's going to be looking like.
Thanks, guys. Like and subscribe.